This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carol Williams. The Ministry of Transport Works and Maintenance is under pressure for pole lighting in constituencies, particularly those in St. Michael. The ministry, steered by Dr. William Duguid, was put under the spotlight during yesterday's House sitting by his colleague Minister Kirk Humphrey, who complained that the constituencies are too dark at nights, posing a danger to residents.
Many nights, if you're walking through our constituencies, as you would know, sir, dark, 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 dark. So that if you're telling me about renewable energy, that's fair enough, and we have to go there. But again, it has to be for poor people too. So that when you come with these nice light bulbs and these fancy light poles, put some in our constituencies, why don't you? Because a lot of the constituencies now are extremely dark. St. Michael South is extremely dark. I canvass your constituency, so dark. And when you bring these renewable energy, sir, you know, because you have the small solar generating, the small photovoltaics on the pole, so it allows the bulb to be brighter and run longer. That is efficiency. But it is not effectiveness if it is not reaching the people that need it.
Minister Duguid quickly rose to the defense of his ministry.
The lamps cost money, hundreds of dollars, $8 million that it costs normally. If we are to put lamps on every single lamp post, it would be $16 million. There are costs, and I anticipate and I appreciate that certain parts will have difficulties, but we also have to weigh that with the ability for the country to pay.
What's the point of order, Honourable Member?
The Honourable Member misled the House with respect to the darkness of the particular constituencies.
At the time, the House was debating the Electric Light and Power Amendment Bill. Meantime, renewable energy advocates are calling for Barbadians to have a majority stake in any company that generates alternative power on a mass scale. The call is led by businessman Ralph Busy Williams and follows the announcement in the House yesterday that government is moving to end Barbados Light and Power's electricity generation monopoly.
I very strongly believe that the alternative energy sector should be primarily owned by Barbadians or Barbadian companies. At least 60%. So while I am very, very happy with the Barbados Light and Power, I would like them to focus on distribution and charge for distribution. Charge for distributing the electricity generated by alternative energy.
On to other news, operators of school canteens are giving the thumbs up to an initiative to swap sugar-sweetened beverages and unhealthy foods with healthier options. They tell Barbados Today that the initiative is not only good, but also workable. At the same time, they say education is key, particularly of parents and guardians.
We just have to, for implementation purposes, we need to get all the information that we need first, and then we will have probably start gathering materials. For instance, if they wanted healthy drinks and so on, we will need to shop around for the things like the golden apples and the mangoes and the passion fruits and so on, and look at the menus and so on, and just start working with it, right? But yeah, I think it's a good initiative.
Preparation and planning. Once you as you say, we store the stuff, you pulp it and you freeze it, so that way you go to continuation. But in terms of the children's health, you can't always look at profit. This is something the principle instilled in us from the school. You got to balance it too. So it can't always be profit. You got to still put the children's health high up that ladder as well. Well, we are hoping that through the education from the same Heart and Stroke Foundation, education from the school, and then the parents have to play a pivotal role in educating children in terms of healthy lifestyles and that kind of stuff. So we hope it will reduce that urge to go and slip out and buy a soft drink. You can't control it 100%, but if you can keep it within 80–90%, that'd be a great achievement.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Turning to the region, the Guyana Police Force has terminated the employment of over 40 rogue police officers over a period, and the Public Security Minister has warned that those who still engage in rogue behavior will also be exposed and sent home. We get more from HGP TV.
Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan, during a radio appearance on the show Insight, explained that the security sector is still vigilant against rogue officers who continue to conduct illegal acts within the force. He noted that, strangely enough, despite dozens of officers having their employment terminated from the force, there still seems to be a driving force working against the mandate of the police. Minister Ramjatan stated that unprofessionalism will not be tolerated within the police force. He added that every complaint made against a rogue officer will be investigated and the requisite action must be taken.
Because, of course, of all that has happened over the past 4 years, it is obviously going to go that way. We have taken out rogue cops. We are ensuring that their activities, that is of unprofessionalism in the police force, are going to be dealt with. Everybody that complain must be investigated.
And finally, scientists are a step closer to being able to cure the deadly Ebola hemorrhagic fever after 2 experimental drugs showed survival rates of as much as 90% in a clinical trial in Congo. The experimental drugs will now be offered to all patients infected with the viral disease in an ongoing outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Get the details from Reuters News.
There's new hope in the battle to halt a deadly Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. 2 experimental drugs are now showing remarkable results in combating the virus, with survival rates running as high as 90% in a large clinical trial. Anthony Fauci directs the U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which co-sponsored the trials.
Well, it depends on if they come in early or if they come in late. If they have a low viral load and they get this drug, they have about a 90% chance of surviving or a 10% mortality. If they come in late, it is not as good, but it's still better than no therapy at all.
Ebola has been sweeping through eastern Congo over the past year, leaving some 1,800 people dead as the outbreak spreads. The 2 drugs were developed using the antibodies of Ebola survivors and will now be offered to all infected patients in the DRC.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Quinplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Carol Williams. Have a good day.